Levi 19. And Sister Marie, you fill up the reading?
And thou shalt not glean thy vineyard, neither shalt thou gather every grape of the vineyard. Thou shalt leave them for the poor and stranger. I am Yahweh your Elohim. You shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another. And you shall not swear by my name falsely, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy Elohim. I am Yahweh. Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning. 13? Okay. Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning. Thou shalt not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind, but shall fear thy Elohim.
Verse 15.
Okay. You shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty. But in righteousness shall thou judge thy neighbor. Thou shalt not go up.
In other words, by the law, you shall judge your neighbor, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people. Neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am Yahweh. Meaning you shouldn't go lie. Okay, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am Yahweh.
And Miss Marie Israel. Welcome back.
Well, thank you. I appreciate being
Marie
here.
has been a past panelist, and here is a guest panelist with us today, and we're very glad to have her back on the set.
Well, I can speak on the calendar, for instance. Well, as we know, this all came from Rome and the Catholic Church. Basically, what one of the Caesars did was roll back the month from the beginning of the month, which actually started in April, or what's known as Abib in the Hebrew, which is in the spring of the year. He rolled it back to a month that he called January, which actually honored the god Janus. And Janus was a two-faced god that looked into the past and into the future. So, and today we still have customs and traditions that revolve around this whole quote-unquote New Year festivity of looking back into the past and into the future. So that's one of the main things he did. He actually changed the order of time by starting the month in the dead of the winter as opposed to the spring. He also named the days of the months themselves, beginning with what we call January, which we know is directly involved with the two-faced god Janus, and on to February and March and April and so forth down the line. And just to give you an example, for instance, March was named after the god Mars, I believe, which we also have a planet named after that. And let me see, I'm not sure about April, but I know a lot of the other months do involve pagan deities that we're unaware of today, as well as the days of the week. So that's a big influence. Do we have a picture of Janus that we can show?
Yep, actually they hopefully just saw that picture.
Well, certainly the Ten Commandments give insight. And the very first being that thou shalt have no other gods before me. And thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahweh, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children into the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. So clearly, he says it in the Ten Commandments not to give honor or worship to any pagan deity.
Exactly.
Or not even to create symbols to honor them.
Absolutely.
As well. I think I would like to touch on, like you said, it was a political move because at that time, it was easy. They found it an easy transition to convert people who were, I guess, Mithra devotees,
Right.
to this new religion, quote-unquote religion called Christianity. They really did not have to change their ways.
Right.
They could keep doing the same customs and same sun-worshiping traditions as they had always done.
Right.
So it was an easy transition. It was a smooth one, too.
Right.
Well, I'd like to touch on the main day, I'd like to say, what we call Sunday. And it truly, the name itself denotes what it's about. It's about worshiping the sun. And of course, that comes right from Mithraism and what we just talked about. And I'd like to read something regarding this day. It should be brief. The first day of the week, Sunday, since ancient times has been designated the day of rest. For Christians, it is, the holy day of the week due to the fact that Christ was reported to have risen from the dead upon this day. Yet the name of Sunday has nothing to do with Christianity, but everything to do with even more ancient religions. The ancient Greeks knew that the sun was the source of life on the planet, and they gave it prime importance in their thinking. When the Romans later adopted the 7-day week, they emphasized their respect for the sun by naming the first day of the week for it, dies solis, the day of the sun. The day of the sun. So it clearly points out that this is something they intended to do because of their worship of the sun. And as well, all of the days of the week are named after pagan gods. Of course, Sunday was named after the sun god. They turned around and put a day to Monday, which is to the worship of the moon god as well. And these are all pagan days. For instance, Tuesday, I'm just going to briefly go through these. Wednesday, what did I say? Tuesday, I don't have that one here for some reason.
Tu. It was an old ancient god called Tu.
Okay.
Or if you look at in terms of the planets, Tuesday was the day of Mars, So,
Okay.
and then Mercury was Wednesday. of
Right,
course.
that was named after a Norse god, Odin.
Yeah.
But of course, it all goes back to, in the Roman times, I think it was Mercury that,
How about Thursday?
oh, okay, exactly. Thursday has to do with the ancient god of thunder, Thor, was that, who was back in the Roman times, I believe, also. And also it has the North, was called the Norse god of thunder. I'm not sure where that came in at, but originally it was truly for Thor. It was
I
a
remember
mythological-
cartoons for that. The Mighty Thor and all that kind of stuff.
Now this is interesting. Friday is considered a lucky day, okay? And it's, of course, one of the most popular days of the week because we consider it to be the end of the work week. And this god was named after, it's a Norse god named Frigga, a goddess, I should say. And she was the wife of Odin. And, of course, in the Roman times, the goddess was Venus, I believe, which was the goddess of beauty.
Okay.
So-
and then finally, they took the Sabbath day,
Exactly.
which is the 7th day of the week. And what did they call that?
Well, they named it after Saturn, the god of harvest, I believe, in the Roman times. And truly, it is what we consider to be the Sabbath day. And just to point out that all of the names of the days of the week have pagan names put to them, but in the scriptures, you'll see that the Most High, Yahweh, he named the days after the number of the day. For instance, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7. He didn't put a name to the days of the week. So this is clearly man's doing.
Absolutely.
And just evidence of, his worship of the nations, paganism.
Okay.
I wanted to finish up by just pointing out that Saturday is the 7th day of the week, or considered the 7th day of the week. And it says here that such was the day upon which the Hebrew God commanded his people to rest. Through our modern age, Jews kept Saturday holy as the Sabbath, which is quite a contrast to Roman practices. And understanding that Rome set all this up through the Catholic Church, and we mentioned the Emperor Constantine, who actually was responsible for adopting Christianity as the legal religion of Rome, and that all this that we recognize today as Christian, whether it be Methodist, Baptist, or whatever of the 500 or so denominations you want to choose, all of it stems from Catholicism.
Correct.
It's all Catholicism.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if we can show that picture or if it has been shown of the Emperor Constantine, who was responsible for changing the day. I'll tell you this, if you look at the modern day churches, you'll see something, and this is a fairly modern day invention. It's called the steeple. There are companies that actually make steeples to put on tops of quote-unquote churches. And if you can pick up that graphic there, you'll see a phallic type symbol with a cross at the very top, which is also another pagan symbol that we haven't touched on. Crosses come from the Egyptian Ankh, which is their symbol of life. The cross is a direct adaptation of the Ankh. And you can see there where, once again, you have two steeples with crosses on the top of them. That depicts sun worship in all its entirety, as far as I'm concerned. Just to touch on, too, the obliques that existed back in the Egyptian days, I wanted to point out that a lot of those obliques had inscriptions. And just to give you an idea of what the inscription said, let me see. Okay, it says generally obliques have inscriptions on all four sides, and also parts of the pyridium, are sometimes carved with the bas reliefs. These monumentae, symbolize the stability and creative force held by the solar god Ra. The Egyptians believed that the solar rays brought a great vivifying power even into the grave, which would have an effect on the subsequent resurrection of the deceased. So certainly their intention was to reincarnate, exactly, bring back life from the dead. Also, too, when you look at, for instance, a lot of these have been erected all over the world, as she said, and a lot of the ancient buildings just tell the story, but even the more modern-day buildings, such as churches, will also tell the same story of paganism. And just to give an example of here in Atlanta even, you have an oblique that's right down there at the King Center. As a matter of fact, King's Chapel on the campus of Morehouse College. If you ever have an occasion to go down there, you will see a miniature oblique symbol. And once again, I don't know who erected that particular one, but it's all in line with paganism. In the Old Testament, whenever there was an altar built to Yahweh, it could not be hewn. It had to be, couldn't be hewn of stone. It had to be just
as it was,
untouched, as it was.
Otherwise, we would
because it would have become an image at that point.
Absolutely.
And there were strict commands given in the Old Testament regarding that. So you're exactly right.
You love me now, I love you now. I love the sun, you love the moon. Living also disagreeable. To the evil day.